Hi, it's John and welcome to the channel. It is 6:07 a.m. Friday, January 24th with the big blue mug of coffee. Getting going a little bit later this morning. Last night I was at the Calgary Saddle Dome. My family was in town and they watched the Calgary Flames down Buffalo 5-2. So got to bed later than normal. And today I think I've got a little different perspective on what's going on when it comes to Donald Trump and how it relates to Canada. Not only that, but how it relates to the world and how it relates to the two main contenders for the Liberal leadership here in Canada. That'd be Mark Carney and Freeland. I was really pessimistic yesterday, but I'm feeling a little different today, and I hope I can make you feel more optimistic. And you should feel that way if you're a conservative here in Canada. I think if you're a conservative around the world and you're a thinking person, and I'm talking about right meaning ideological right, or you just think right, because we think that the left thinks wrong all the time. I think Donald Trump has got the Liberal Party here in Canada on the run right now. And I was really scared yesterday. I did a video on it. Donald Trump basically said in front of the world and said it right to Canada's face, we don't need you. We don't need your oil. We don't need your lumber. We don't need you at all. And our answer from our idiot prime minister is this.
That's why we will look, as we have in the past, at things that have replacements. The example from last time was Heinz's ketchup being replaced by French's ketchup.
And Trudeau's answer to 25% tariffs coming in from the United States isn't to actually fix the problem. It's to tell people to use a different type of ketchup. And this is from the National Post. He can't even get that right. Heinz slams Trudeau for floating its made in Canada ketchup as a U.S. trade target. They say they've been making their ketchup in Quebec using Ontario tomatoes. So this guy is an absolute joke, as is the Liberal Party. And they are scared because they're globalists. And they all think alike. And they see their worldview blowing up in front of them. Freeland, Mark Carney, anybody that's running for the Liberal Party or in the Liberal Party, they all think the same way. Klaus Schwab, the founder of the WEF, is scared and shaking in his boots. Here's what he had to say at the World Economic Forum. And this isn't just to the people in the room. He's talking all about Donald Trump because this is the Trump effect in a big way, folks.
The world faces critical challenges. Extreme weather events, misinformation and disinformation, increasing divisions within societies, within countries. The future is shaped by us, and particularly shaped by us here in this room.
People compare this guy to a Bond villain, and I think that's a great comparison. You couldn't write this guy any more evil. And the thing that really stood out from what he said there is the future is shaped by us. Now, he's not talking about governments. He's not talking about politicians, although politicians are in the room with him. He's talking about the people who flew in on private jets, who want to control your lives. That's what the World Economic Forum is about. But what does Mark Carney think about this? Mark Carney, member of the World Economic Forum. What does he think? I think he's scared. Donald Trump has created a seismic shift in the world because the United States is a big country and it's a big economy, and what they do has a huge effect. It's going to have a huge effect on Canada, and he doesn't know what to do because his worldview is exploding right now. And we know he thinks exactly like Klaus Schwab does. Listen to what he says here, but then read between the lines. Here is Mark Carney.
You demanded action, and now it's time for the financial sector to deliver. To reach net zero, every country, every company, every bank, every investor, every pension fund around the world will need to make some big changes. In the run-up to COP26 in Glasgow, we have an enormous opportunity to bring climate change into the heart of every financial decision. And our plan will manage the risks from climate change while helping to seize the opportunities from a newer, greener economy.
So the main thing you get out of that, and there's something he doesn't say here, but he means it. It's in the background. Okay, so he says every country, every company, every bank, every investor, every pension fund around the world will need to make big changes. But what did he not say there? But does include. He didn't say everybody, and that means you. If they get all those other things, you're going to have to make big changes. And I've said it before, global warming or climate change is about people who live large telling the rest of us how to live small. Mark Carney's world is a world that micromanages everything you do, everything you eat, everywhere you go. and Mark Carney saw Donald Trump absolutely obliterate everything he believes in a speech yesterday at the World Economic Forum. We knew Donald Trump meant these things and believed these things, but he said these things in front of the world yesterday. Listen to this, courtesy of Laura Ingraham on Fox News.
Pleased to report that America is also a free nation once again. On day one, I signed an executive order to stop all government censorship. No longer will our government label the speech of our own citizens as misinformation or disinformation, which are the favorite words of censors and those who wish to stop the free exchange of ideas and, frankly, progress. I terminated the ridiculous and incredibly wasteful Green New Deal. I call it the Green New Scam. Withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord and ended the insane and costly electric vehicle mandate. The United States has the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we're going to use it. The EU treats us very, very unfairly, very badly. They don't take our, essentially don't take our farm products, and they don't take our cars, yet they send cars to us by the millions. They put tariffs on things that we want to do. We have, hundreds of billions of dollars of deficits with the EU, and nobody's happy with it, and we're going to do something about it, but nobody's happy with it. My message to every business in the world is very simple. Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth. But if you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply, you will have to pay a tariff. My administration has taken action to abolish all discriminatory diversity, equity, and inclusion nonsense. America will once again become a merit-based country.
What he says there is jaw-dropping, even for somebody like myself who agrees with a lot of things he says. It's jaw-dropping because we have no leadership in our country right now. We've got a leadership campaign to prop up the Liberal Party with this Team Canada approach. And even people are backing off on that idea right now. Danielle Smith, Premier of Alberta, has been out there being diplomatic. Even the Globe and Mail is turning around on this one right now, that we need to start listening to Danielle Smith because Team Canada ain't working. And people are starting to see through the ruse that this Liberal leadership campaign is. We're strong, fighting Trump, vote for us. That's what this is about. But what of Chrystia Freeland? I mean, she's the other big name in this race, right? She seems to think she's the person who can stand up against Trump. Think about what he said in that speech. She actually said this at her leadership launch.
You want someone as leader of the Liberal Party and as Prime Minister who Donald Trump is afraid of.
The scary thing about it, the laughable thing about this, is that she actually believes that. Do you think that woman could stand up to Donald Trump, who said that in front of the world yesterday at the World Economic Forum? Not a chance. But she's scared because her worldview is disappearing. Mark Carney hasn't been seen really very much since he launched his campaign. And I kind of mocked the Conservative Party for putting out a tweet saying, "Where's carbon tax Carney?" But I think they're right there. I don't think he knows how to deal with this right now. We need some adults in the room. We need some conservatives in the room. We need people who think more like Donald Trump in the room. Pierre Poilievre's not completely where Donald Trump is, but he's way better than anybody that's liberal. I have a lot of trust in my premier here in Alberta, Danielle Smith, who has been doing it the right way, diplomatically, through talk instead of, chest beating like so-called Team Canada of the Justin Trudeau type or Doug Ford type. We've even got Scott Moe from Saskatchewan leaning towards Danielle Smith now. They're coming around. So I do have some optimism. Things are going to get worse, a lot worse before the election in October. But I think in the long run, things are looking up and are going to get better. Thanks so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.